We're going to look at the ambiguous case for side-side angle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different options that could arise from side-side angle, as opposed to side-side-side. If we have side-side-side, like so, then another triangle that has the exact same pair of sides, pair of sides, pair of sides, will always give me exactly the same triangle. No changes, ever. So side-side-side gives me one type of triangle. However, side-side angle gives me up to 6 types of cases, and only a few of these even make triangles. Notice no triangle here, no triangle here, and we'll get to it in a second of what we mean. First thing on this chart, let's pay attention to what these categories mean. The very, very bottom here means number of triangles. So right here where it says none, one, etc., that means number of triangles. And the one above, this is a condition. What condition will give me the number of triangles? My A is less than H, my A is equal to H, etc. So let's make sure we have this set up. Okay, also pay attention. We have here A is acute, A is acute, A is acute. Oh, such a cute. Over here is acute. Now A is obtuse. Over here, and A is obtuse. Again, it actually doesn't matter what A is as long as we're consistent. If you're dealing with A, angle A or vertex A, then make sure that the side opposite is your A there. So let's just analyze real quick a few options here. Notice what H means. H means the height of the triangle. So if you are given A as acute angle here, we don't know if it's 0.1 or if it's 89.9 degrees. We don't know. But we do have a pair of one angle, a pair of sides, and a pair of sides. Notice it's in that order, angle, side, side. Or if you go backwards this way, side, side, angle. A is acute. Here's your length of A, but notice it's less than your height, which means as this leg swings back and forth, it'll never connect down here. So it doesn't even make a triangle.
Why isn't it a triangle?
And then the other two acute situations are when A is greater than B. So here's my A, that's greater than B. Remember that this is not necessarily, we don't know how long this is. However, the angle is locked in place, and so A fits in very nicely there. So we end up with exactly one type of triangle. The other case is where this side is not locked, but the location is locked because the angle. And this side is locked, kind of like a crane. And here we have a swinging rope. So it either endpoint is here or it swings over to have another endpoint there. So two separate triangles emerge from this if A is acute. And the last two cases are if A is obtuse. If A is obtuse and side A is too small, it won't ever reach over here, so it's just dangling there, flop, it'll hit over here. And never make a triangle. And in this case, if A is greater than B, then in fact it will extend and meet this guy somewhere. Again, this is an unknown length, so it could be here, 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 everywhere, as long as the endpoint meets. One key thing to note is how do we calculate the height? And that's a given to you right here. You take your B, multiply it by the sine of A. And that'll find you the height of the triangle. So let's take a gander at this first situation. So this first example, we are given A. So number one, it's acute. Dun, 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 dun. So we now know it's one of the first 4 categories. We also are told that A is less than B. So all we do now is go upstairs here to see to what does it fit. A is less than B, and it's acute. A is less than B, and it's acute. Well, A is less than B is here, but how does A compare to H? Okay, so we actually have to take a moment to calculate H. So remember that H is going to be B times the sine of A, which is 12 times the sine of 62. Remember, your calculator should be set to degrees. Let's go ahead and calculate that. So when we calculate, we get an approximate value. So this will give me about 10.6 here. So now I can compare H. So that means A is less than H. So to which situation does that apply? A is less than H. It's right here. There. Hence, thus, and therefore, A is less than H. No. It's kind of like this is being propped up, and this guy's just dangling. Can never reach downstairs. So the answer is, determine the number of triangles. The answer is none. No triangle for you. So, what about this puppy? Notice this follows the pattern angle or side-side angle, pair of sides, and pair of angles. Or not a pair. That's for congruence. All right, so how does this guy here is acute? So I know it's going to be in the first 4 situations. We see here that A is less than B. So I have to find H. So H is going to be B. B times the sine of A. Substitute in 46 times the sine of 31 degrees, which give you approximately 23.7. Okay, so now we see how H compares. H is actually less than A. Okay, and we're in this situation right there. Notice it does not ask us to actually find anything. So our answer here is simply 2, according to the instructions. Of course, we will go on and find later. All right, so this one here, we see that A, this is obtuse. So I go to the last 2, and I see that A is greater than B. And it's simply right here. A is greater than B is uno. And that's it. So we're just training ourselves here to use the chart. Acute. A is less than B, so I have to find H. 10 times the sine of 54. 8.1, which is A is less than H. So up to my table of acute, and A is less than H, and it's the same as the first one we did, where we have a non-triangular shape. The answer is none. No soup for you. So in example number 4, if A is 85 degrees, here's A across, and this one is the opposite there, so that's one of my sides, and that's one of my sides. So if you needed to sketch it out, it looks like this. Here's your A, and here's your A, and then B is one of them. It doesn't matter. 25. So notice it does follow the pattern side-side angle, or angle-side-side. So it's going to be an ambiguous case. Find the remaining sides and angles, if possible. And if there's 2 solutions, we have to find them both. So first off here is I have to determine what kind of situation I have. So I have an acute angle there, and A is less than B, so I have to find H. So H is 25 times the sine of 85, which is approximately 24.9. So that means A is less than H. So this one has no solutions because there are no triangle. So in this case, we have an acute angle here. And A is less than my, or greater than my B, or C in this case. So A is greater than C. That's not a C. That's a C. So what is that? So this gives me one special triangle. So I'm going to use the law of sine, which, as you remember, the law of sine says I'm going to put my A length above the sine of my angle A. Do the same thing for B. Since I don't have any B information yet, I'll put that like so. And my 10 above there and sine of capital C. Please respect the sizes. My lengths are lowercase and my angles are uppercase. Now here we can cover up, effectively just cover up this middle one. And remember the rules for cross multiplying? It's as simple as this. Multiply diagonally, divide vertically. Okay? So I'm going to do 10 times the sine of 58 divided by 20. We don't even have to do your cross multiply simple stuff. All you do is this. In order to find out what the sine of C is, you have to multiply diagonally, divide vertically. So the sine of C is 10 times the sine of 58 divided by 20. 10 times sine of 58 divided by 20. So the sine of C is approximately 0.424. And then when you inverse sine, C is going to be approximately 25.1 degrees. Good. So finding the other pieces of information, let's go ahead and write that up here. C is approximately 25.1 degrees. And how do we find out what B is from here without much work? Angle B. There we go. So all three angles are going to add up to 180. So add those together, subtract from 180 to get B. So that means B is going to be 96.6 degrees. Now I can substitute that in for the sine of B there. Let me just rewrite one of the proportions. Sine of 58 is equal to the unknown length B over the sine of 96.6. Yes, excuse me, 0.9. That's 9. Holy monkey. A little bit too fat there. 9. Okay, now remember, we don't have to cross multiply. We just multiply diagonally and divide vertically. Multiply diagonally, divide vertically. And that'll actually just get you A right here. So 20 in your calculators, 20 times the sine of 96.9 divided by the sine of 58. And we get an approximate value here, approximately equal to 23.4. And 23.4.